The food digestion process can be categorized as following way. Food digestion in buccal cavity, food digestion in stomach, food digestion in small intestine, absorption of digestive food, and action in large intestine. There are 5 phases including digestion. First one is ingestion. Ingestion means what we are taking into the mouth. Next one is movement of food. It is carried out by muscular walls of the digestive system. Next one is mechanical and chemical digestion. This mechanical and chemical digestion is taking place in mouth cavity, stomach, and small intestine. Next process is absorption. It is taking place in mouth cavity, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. The last process is elimination. Elimination means undigested food releases from the digestive system. We need energy for our different biological processes. Energy is obtained through food that we take into the body. This food contains nutrients such as carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. They are large organic molecules. So these organic molecules break down into smaller, simple substances which we can absorb, that is we called digestion. So this digestion is carried out by our digestive system. Mouth open the buccal cavity to the environment. It is surrounded by muscular lips at the bottom and top. The buccal cavity is made up of upper and lower jaws. Only the lower jaw can be moved. Teeth are present in both jaws. Buccal cavity is surrounded by cheeks. There are 3 salivary glands present in the buccal cavity. They secrete saliva. Saliva contains enzyme and mucus. These salivary amylase or ptyalin act on starch in digestion of food. Starch will be partially digested into maltose. Digestion of food starts in the mouth. When rice or bread is chewed for some time, starch is digested into maltose. As maltose is sweet, we sense the sweet taste. Our saliva contains mucus. This mucus helps to make the food balls. These food balls enter to the pharynx. Pharynx is the next part of the buccal cavity. It is a common area to both respiratory and digestive tract. There is a movable organ called epiglottis found just about the opening of trachea. When bolus are swallowed, the epiglottis move down to close the opening of trachea. Then bolus enter into the esophagus without entering into the trachea. Esophagus is a muscular structure. It causes contractions and relaxation of its walls. These are called peristaltic movement. These peristaltic movements provide the force to propel the bolus forward. Digestion in the stomach. The stomach is a dilated sac-like organ. Due to the peristaltic activity of muscles in the stomach wall, the bolus is broken down and mixed well into a chyme. Several secretions ooze out into the stomach. It is collectively called the gastric juice. The gastric juice contains mainly hydrochloric acids and pepsin enzyme. Hydrochloric acid activates pepsin, and pepsin start the protein digestion to produce polypeptides. Renin present in infants causes coagulation of milk. The digested end products are not absorbed, but some water, glucose, and some drug may be absorbed. Chyme containing partially digested proteins, digested and undigested carbohydrates, undigested lipids, water, minerals, and vitamins. The small intestine is about 7 meter in length. The proximal part of the small intestine is C-shaped and known as duodenum. The duct of the pancreas and the gallbladder open into the duodenum through a single pore. The bile is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. Bile contains bile pigments, bile salts, bicarbonate ions, and water. Due to mixing of bile with food at duodenum, the lipids in food are broken down into small droplets by the process called emulsification. Due to this action, enzymes get a greater surface area to act on lipid foods. Pancreatic juice contains three main enzymes. They are trypsin, amylase, and lipase. Intestinal juice secreted by the wall of the intestine contains maltase, sucrase, lactase, peptidase, and mucus. Mucus lubricates food and it protects the inner lining of gut wall. Proteins present in wall of stomach and intestine is protected by the protein digestion enzymes as there is a layer of mucus in the wall. The absorption of digested end products into body takes place mainly in the small intestine. The small intestine is adapted to increase its efficiency of absorption in different ways. First one is it is a long tube, presence of circular folds in the inner walls, presence of finger-like projections called villi in the circular folds. Presence of microvilli in the epithelial cells of villi. This helps to increase the surface area for absorption. Thin epithelial lining on villi helps to easy absorption of the digestive products. Villi are highly vascularized. It means villi contains large amount of blood capillaries and lacteals. The digestive end products such as amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and monosaccharides entered into the blood capillaries. Fatty acids and glycerols are absorbed into lacteals. Finally, they enter into blood circulatory system. When there is high amount of glucose in blood, they are converted into glycogen and stored in liver. In the same way, when the concentration of glucose is decreased, glycogen breaks down into glucose and added to the blood. The length of the large intestine is about 1.5 meter. The main function of the large intestine is to absorb water from matter received from small intestine, thereby making it into semi-solid. The matter entered into large intestine is known as fecal matter. Fecal matter is yellow in color due to bile pigments. Undigested food, microorganisms, epithelial cells, and mucus are present in fecal matter. When large intestine fills with fecal matter, it passes out from the rectum. Inflammation of inner lining of mucosa of stomach is known as gastritis. It is a common disease among people. The symptoms are regurgitation of acid to mouth, burning feeling of pain in stomach. When the condition becomes worse, ulcers appears in stomach and duodenal wall. Bleeding can take place. The reason for this disorder are skipping of meals, consumption of acidic and spicy foods, excessive smoking, excessive consumption of alcohol, and mental stress. Constipation. Difficulty in defecation due to hardening of fecal matter is known as constipation. Feces remain in the large intestine for a long period of time and absorption of water take place excessively. There are many reasons for constipation. Consumption of food with low fibers, not taking enough volume of water, Postponing of defecation are the main reasons. Typhoid. Typhoid is caused by bacterium. The pathogen is transmitted through food and water. The bacterium can enter into the body through mouth while swimming and bathing. It may enter into the body through fecal matter of patient, consumption of contaminated food. It causes stomachache and diarrhea. Ulcers can form in the small intestine and cause bleeding. Therefore, blood is released with fecal matter. The disease can be identified by blood test or stool test. Typhoid can be prevented by getting a vaccine. Diarrhea. Diarrhea occurs when the intestines are infected with a virus, bacteria, or parasite. This disease is transmitted by the feces of an infected person. The main symptom is release of fecal matter in liquid state. Absorption of water in the large intestine will not occur properly. Dehydration may occur due to loss of fluid.